y z axis is there. Okay, and then we have taken here the translation values are along x-axis, and then rotation of alpha about z-axis. You can see how the sketch is formed, and then a translation along L along the z-axis. That is one translation along x-axis and one rotation about z-axis, and then one translation along z-axis. So these three things will give you a cylindrical robot configuration. This is R, that is related to the distance along X, and then the alpha, it is rotation about Z, and then the L, that is translation along Z. Okay, so once you are having that, this is the transformation matrix for calculating the cylindrical coordinate related manipulators. So you can see the translation means, so only it will have the parameter of the distance. For example, the last one is R00. That means it is having translation along x-axis, so it is R, y and z, so it doesn't have any parameters, so 00. Coming to the next one, rotation z comma alpha, that is the coordinates, that is rotating about z-axis. Okay, the value we are giving as alpha, and the last one translation, that is along z-axis. So first two parameters are 00, and then the last one you are having the value as L. So when we are writing as a transformation matrix, you have to follow these things. That is, first is translation along x-axis, next one is rotation about z-axis, and then third one is translation along z-axis. So you have to put the matrix in this form, and then you have to multiply from right to left. Okay, obviously the final answer you will get the transformation matrix of a cylindrical coordinated robot. Okay, this is one. So coming to the next one. So once you have done, your matrix will be like this. Okay, so now based on this particular matrix, what you can understand is the last column, first three parameters are important. What is that? Cos alpha multiplied with R, and sin alpha multiplied with R, and then L. So these three parameters will give you the final position of Px, Py, and Pz. Are you getting? So based on this particular last column three parameter, you can find out the values. For example, okay, this one I think you have understood. When we are solving the problem, you will understand why I have said the last column first three parameters are important. Okay, and the next one is we are moving to the spherical coordinate. As I told you in the morning, in the spherical coordinator, one linear translation is there, and then two rotations are there. So here in this sketch, you can see that a translation of R along the Z axis. Okay, the first translation is taking place in Z direction. Then there is a rotation of beta about the Y axis. Okay, and then there is a rotation of gamma along Z axis, because you know that when you are taking a sphere, so you need a radius, and then you should have a circular cross section in both the sides. So one is here, the radius is nothing but translation along R axis, and then two surfaces are nothing but beta and gamma will give the circular surfaces. Okay, so you will obviously get a spherical coordinate. So the same thing as like a previous cylindrical coordinate, I am going to apply the same transformation matrix like R, beta, and gamma. So here I am taking translation along z-axis 0, 0, R, and then rotation about y-axis, that is beta, and rotation about z-axis, that is gamma. Okay, in the sketch also you can see same thing I have mentioned it. So once you have done this, please write the transformation matrix. You know the transformation matrix is for R means only in the z-axis there will be a movement. Sorry here. Okay. Yeah. So here you can see that the R is denoting the translation of along z-axis, this particular one. Next one is you have to give rotation about y-axis. So you know the formula cos beta 0 sin beta 0 1 0 minus sin beta 0 cos beta. This is related to rotation about y-axis. And then last one is rotation about z-axis, cos gamma, sin gamma, and then minus sine gamma and cos gamma. So these things. So when you are multiplying this, again I'm saying right to left. So these two matrices you will multiply first. That is cos beta 0 sine beta 0, that is multiplied by 1 0 0 0. You know the multiplication and other things. So easily you can calculate the transformation matrix. So once you are calculating, your final matrix will be for the spherical coordinate will be like this. That is again the final thing. This one will give these three terms. That is r sine beta cos gamma, r sine beta sine gamma, and r cos beta. And then these three terms are related to your px, py, and pz. That is end effector position. Okay, based on spherical coordinate. Okay. Similarly, your cylindrical coordinates, these three parameters r cos alpha, r sin alpha, and L will be related to the final position of the cylindrical coordinate related robots. Okay, so that's the thing. So if you have any queries in this after this problem solution, you can ask. Okay, so to place the origin of the hand frame of a cylindrical or spherical robot at 5 4 3, calculate the joint variable. Sometimes, okay, this is for if you want to design a robot. Okay, the robot should reach 5 comma 4 comma 3. Okay, how I can relate whatever I have calculated the equations and how to derive based on that the values of cylindrical coordinate or spherical coordinate parameters. So you know that cylindrical coordinate parameters are what are the parameters, and spherical coordinate robots what are the parameters. For cylindrical, you know that it is having one rotation, two translation. In spherical, you are having two rotation and one translation. So what we have to do means, for example, cylindrical robot, this is the final matrix, transformation matrix we know. So we know that the last column, first three are related to the px, py, pz. So how I am relating, just see here so that you can design your robot like that. So simply I am relating r cos alpha, that is related to 5, r sin alpha, that is related to 4, and L is equal to 3. That is x, y, and z I have related, that is px, py, pz. So based on that, I can understand now that L is 3. Okay, whatever values they are given, I got the one parameter of cylindrical coordinate. Similarly, r cos alpha and r sin alpha is there. Easily I can give r sin alpha by r cos alpha, I can get tan alpha. So from that I can calculate what is alpha, and then I can substitute in any one of the equation and I can get the value of r. So this is the way we can calculate the cylindrical coordinate what is that robot parameters by using simple relation. Okay, that is, if I want the cylindrical coordinate robot to reach that particular point, what are the cylindrical coordinate parameters I should have? Okay, that is the thing. So it's very easy to understand that how to design it. Okay, and the next one is same thing I have taken for spherical robot. So the spherical robot, just now we have come across the transformation matrix. So just you can take the last column, the first three variables. Similarly, you can relate that r sin beta dot cos gamma is equal to 5, and r sin beta into sin gamma is equal to 4, and r cos beta is equal to 3. So once you are relating this particular equation, again the same thing, you can divide or multiply, and then you can calculate what are the parameters of r, beta, and gamma. That's it. So transformation matrix in kinematic analysis, how it is useful for calculating the end effector positions, you can understand now. So any other queries? Because we are moving to the next one. Before going to Danavid-Hertenberg, if you're having any queries in Cartesian, cylindrical, and spherical, please ask me. I am ready to solve your queries. Any queries? No? Shall we proceed further? Okay, fine. After lunch session, I think so. Okay, shall I proceed further, Professor? If no more queries?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
fine. Okay, fine. Next one is we are moving to the articulated coordinates. Okay, 3 rotations we are going to take. So you can see here theta 1, theta 2 and theta 3. Okay. By saying itself, you can say it is related to maybe TRR, okay, a robot. Now, the very important thing in forward kinematic equations, everybody used to say that DH parameters, DH parameter. So how to achieve that one in a serial manipulator we are going to see now. So Denavit-Hurtenberg representation is nothing but it's actually a research paper published by Denavit and Hurtenberg, and they have made some assumptions, and then they have made this forward kinematic equations of a robot. In this, they have assumed that they are going to consider only two axes, that is z-axis and x-axis, because if we know z and x-axis, then obviously y-axis will be perpendicular to these two. So they have assumed only these two axes. So now, based on their paper, research paper, we are going to discuss some of the points. Okay, all these assumptions are made by Denavit and Hurtenberg. The thing is, they have mentioned clearly that we are going to present a simple way of modeling robot links and joints for any robot configuration. Okay, regarding regardless of its sequence of complexity, whatever complexity is there, you can use our DH representation. Second one is transformations in any coordinate is possible. So based on their method, the transformation in any direction is possible. And the third one is any possible combination of joints and links and all revolute articulated robots can be represented. So here we have to note a point. That is any possible combination of joints and links and all revolute articulated robots can be represented. That is very important point in this. Okay, so we will see one by one so that you will understand. So what they have done first is assign a joint number into the first its own joint, and then assign a local reference frame for each and every joint before or after these joints. Okay, and then y-axis is not used as I told you. Okay, so we'll see one by one now. Okay, this is consider this as a joint link combination. So you know you're having a revolute joints, three revolute joints, that is theta n plus 1 and theta n plus 2. Okay, I will check that whether my this one is working or not. If not, okay, it's not working. Some okay, fine then. Okay. Okay, here. So you are having theta n and theta n plus 1 and then theta n plus 2. Okay, three revolute joints you have taken, and you have taken two links, link n and the link n plus 1. Okay, so now the thing is, as I told you, that all these combinations we have to make, that is rotation and translation you have to make to find the transformation matrix in the forward kinematic equations. So here we are going to see one by one. So we are considering joint n, and then that is related to z-axis, as I said, revolute axis. So wherever it is rotation is taking place, that axis we will take it as z-axis. So there, based on their representation, what they have taken is that particular axis as zn minus 1. Okay, this is as per their research paper. So zn minus 1 they have taken. Okay, after that, you know that it is having a rotation of theta n. Okay, so revolute axis or rotational joint, it is having a rotation about zn minus 1 axis, that is theta n, the value is. Okay, this is called joint n. After that, that particular joint is coupled along with link n. Okay, with along another joint, that is joint n plus 1. Okay, so once this joint is there, again we are going to see the same thing, that is how this zn axis is playing. Okay, this zn axis is along this line. Okay, one more thing is it is in space, so you will get confused. Please understand that this zn minus 1 and zn is not in a parallel condition. Okay, so zn axis is there, and then same thing they have denoted as zn axis along this, and then the rotation is not denoted as theta n plus 1. Okay, are you getting? Two things are important now. I'm talking about only zn axis, but you have to know that there is an xn axis also. Okay, so here you may ask that where is xn axis here? Okay, here xn minus 1 axis are playing a role here. Okay, and then so once theta n plus 1 is there, again the distance between this particular joint to this particular joint along z axis is dn plus 1. Okay, dn plus 1. Again, I am saying the distance between this xn axis and this xn axis perpendicular. Okay, it's a right angle triangle. Okay, that distance we are taking as dn plus 1. Okay, the distance along z axis we are taking as dn plus 1. Next one is this particular joint is joining again with n plus 1 link, and then this link is again joined with n plus 2, and it is having zn plus 1 axis, rotational joint axis, and this one is xn plus 1 axis, this particular axis, and then this distance, that is from z joint n plus 1 to joint n plus 2, that horizontal distance along x-axis is an plus 1. Okay, this is an plus 1. Again, I will repeat, the distance along z-axis they have represented as d parameter. Along x-axis the distance is denoted as a representation. Okay, along x-axis the distance is a, along z-axis the distance is d. Are you getting? And then the rotation about z-axis they have taken as theta. Similarly, here also the rotation about z-axis, zn plus 1 axis is taken as theta n plus 2. And then one more parameter is there, this alpha. This alpha is nothing but the rotation about x-axis, okay, is denoted as alpha. So again I will recollect. Joint n plus 1 and joint n plus 2. 3 joints are there, 2 links are there. That first joint, the rotational axis or revolute joint axis, they are taken as zn plus zn minus 1, and then the value of theta is taken as theta n. Similarly, in second joint, the rotation axis is taken as zn, and then the value is taken as theta n plus 1. And in the third axis, the rotation is taken as theta n plus 2, and then the axis is taken as zn plus 1. And then compared to the joint n and joint n plus 1, there are some distance between, there is a distance between two x-axis, okay, that two x-axis distance along z-axis is d parameter, that is dn plus 1. And with respect to joint n plus 1 and joint n plus 2, there is some distance between these two joints, okay, that is taken as an plus 1. That is distance along x is an plus 1, distance along z is dn plus 1. Okay, simple then. Again, so this is the way they have taken. So now this particular thing I explained to you, alpha. Okay, one more thing is, please take a note, it is a perpendicular distance. Okay, that is these two axes perpendicular distances x. Similarly, xn plus 1 axis perpendicular distances dn plus 1. Okay, this is the way. So now we will come to detailed explanation. Okay, you will ask that, sir, what is that? That is quite confusing. Okay, we will come to step by step. So you know that I have taken zn and zn plus 1 axis like this. Okay, I have taken Zn and Zn plus 1 axis. Please listen here. Zn and Zn plus 1 axis I have taken. And I want this particular, okay, the point is here now. From here to here, I am going to align this particular joint parameters to this. Why I am doing that? Because I want to see the robot motion's final position from the initial position. Take your shoulder as in one link, okay? And then your elbow is another link. How you will move it from one point to another point, how you will calculate. So all the transformation and rotation of each joints you will consider, and you will see the final position. Same thing here. I am having joint n plus 1 and joint n plus 2. So joint n plus 1 origin is different. That is here xn, zn, and then joint n plus 2 axis is different. Zn plus 1 and zn minus 1. Zn plus 1. So how this Zn xn and this xn plus 1 and Zn plus 1, how it is going to come into the same point by using this different translation and rotation we are going to see. Simple logic is this point I am going to transfer to this point. Okay, that is xn Zn axis I am going to transfer to xn plus 1 to zn plus 1, okay, by using translation and rotation parameters. Okay, are we clear about that? Any doubt here? Please, because once you are not understanding this, if I'm explaining the next slide, you won't understand. Are you getting this? I want some questions from professors. Are you there? Any questions?
No questions, sir.
The
Clear.
mouse pointer, no, when you're explaining, then
Yeah, exactly, ma'am. Actually, I'm facing some problem in the digital pen. That's only I did not explain. Anyway, in the PPT, I have explained clearly. If you're not getting again, maybe within 5 minutes it will start work. Then we can work on that. Okay, ma'am. The thing is, first one, as I said. So here we are starting xn. Okay, this is the point, starting point. So as you know that it is having a rotation theta n plus 1 we have taken. Okay, the first one, the parameter as per the DH parameter, the research paper, what they have done is they have aligned the xn axis with xn plus 1 axis. Okay, so what I have to do? So I have to align xn with xn plus 1 axis. What I have to do? I cannot translate, that is sure, because xn is in some other direction and xn plus 1 is some other direction. If I am translating also, both the things will not be in parallel. So first, what in DH parameter they have done is they have rotated about Zn axis. Okay, so when you are rotating about Zn axis, it is like an L angle, you can understand. When I am rotating Zn, obviously the xn will align with xn plus 1. Okay, the xn will align with xn plus 1. Okay, like you can see in the second sketch, the xn will align with xn plus 1. In the second sketch you can see that. Okay, so once they have done it, okay, next one is, once this is done, these two are parallel, that is xn and xn plus 1 are parallel with the parameter of theta n plus 1, because that rotation of Zn axis is taken as theta n plus 1. So this theta n plus 1 will make xn will be parallel with xn plus 1. So once that is done, this and this are parallel, then I am having only the distance of this much. Okay, that is from an plus 1 to xn, that is the distance. The distance along z axis, just now I told you dn plus 1. So when I am moving dn plus 1 along z axis, okay, this point will go and align here. Okay, you can see in this third sketch. Okay, so xn and xn plus 1 will align in a same point. Okay, only the thing is Zn and Zn minus Zn plus 1 is not aligned. This is plus 1. I'm sorry, it is not clear. Okay, Zn plus 1. So now I want to explain again. This is the origin. Okay, so it is rotating Zn. Okay, Zn is rotated. So only rotation is taking place first one, so that xn is aligned with xn plus 1. Second one, you can see the output here, as I told you. Xn is parallel with xn plus 1. Now, the next parameter is this particular position should transfer along z-axis. That variable is dn plus 1. Once it is transferred along z-axis, that is Zn axis, only translation is taking place. Okay, this is first one is rotation, second one is translation. Next one is, so once it is taken place, xn and xn plus 1 is aligned in a single axis. Now I have to move along x-axis alone. So when I'm moving along x-axis, obviously Zn and Zn plus 1 will come on a same point that is given in this diagram. If I am giving a parameter of an plus 1, so obviously, any doubts, sir? Okay, so now, so this point it will come. So only rotation is over, only translation is over, only offset is also over. So now you can see then also these two joints are not lying on the same line. I have to
I would request all the participants to mute their mic. Please mute their mic.
Okay, so once it is in the single point when it comes, then also the Zn axis is not aligned with the Zn plus 1 axis. So what I have to do means here in this parameter, I want the Zn to align with Zn plus 1 means I have to rotate the Xn axis. That is nothing but now it is coupled with Xn plus 1 axis. The Xn axis I have to rotate with the value of alpha. Okay, alpha, then obviously Zn will align with Zn plus 1. Okay, that is the thing I have given here, the parameter Zn and Zn plus 1. And then there is a rotation is taking place here. So rotation is taking place along with respect to x-axis, that is xn axis. Now only rotation is taking place, so Zn is aligned with Zn plus 1 axis. So this is the transformation is taking place from one joint to another joint in robot as per Danavid-Hertenberg method. Okay, so hope you got it. I think so. The first one is we are aligning xn axis with xn plus 1 axis. That is only rotation is taking place about Zn axis, that is theta n plus 1. Second one, only translation is taking place. That is we are the xn is aligned with xn plus 1 axis. The translation is taking place along Zn axis, that is dn plus 1. Next one is we are aligning that Zn axis with Zn plus 1 axis by an offset along x-axis, that is an plus 1. Okay. Next one is we are finally aligning Zn axis with Zn plus 1 axis by rotating Zn axis, sorry, by rotating xn axis so that Zn plus 1 is aligned with Zn. Okay. Only rotation is about Zn axis, that is theta n plus 1. Only translation is along Zn axis, that is dn plus 1. Only offset is along xn and xn plus 1 axis, that is an plus 1. And only rotation about x-axis, that is alpha value. And then the last one is the two joints are aligned. This is the Danavid-Hertenberg representation of from one joint to another joint. Okay, so the parameters are theta, d, a, and alpha. Okay, alpha I did not mention here, but it is there. The x rotation is nothing but alpha. Okay, so finally the axis came to alignment, these two things. Okay, now so how to proceed further? Okay, this is a general thing. Anyway, you have explained. I have explained the earlier slide, so that is more than sufficient. So as I said, these four parameters are important. Theta is rotation about the z-axis. D is the distance on the z-axis. And A is the length of each common normal, that is joint offset we used to say. And then alpha is the angle between two successive z-axis, otherwise joint twist we will say. Okay, that's the thing. So based on these parameters only, okay, here one more point you can say, the theta and d are joint variables. Okay, and based on this, we can formulate a transformation matrix. Yeah, here. So as like I said, the first one is rotation about Zn axis, you can take it. So Z axis rotational formula, you know that cos theta n minus sin theta n and sin theta n and cos theta n. Okay, here they have taken the previous joint. That is the thing. Instead of n plus 1, they have taken n. Okay, and then any joints you can take the same order they have followed in that research paper. Next one is translation along z-axis. Here we have taken dn plus 1. Here they have taken dn. That's all, nothing else. Third one is translation along x-axis. So we have taken as an plus 1. Here they have taken as ln. Nothing, no changes in that. And the last one is rotation about x-axis. So they have taken as alpha n. Okay. So here the parameter are theta n and dn and then ln and then alpha n. That's all. Only the parameters are changing. Instead of ln, you can write an also. No problem about that. Okay. So any doubt in this 4 transformations? Because after this we are moving to the next one. Any doubt, professors and faculty members? Any points I have to explain? If you have any queries, you can ask me. Okay. So if no more queries, maybe we can take it at the last, okay, end of the session. So once we have done that, and as like I said in the Cartesian coordinate, spherical coordinate, and the cylindrical coordinate, you can write down the transformation matrix. That is, This particular one, the last one is, as I said, the last one. I hope you will see the cursor. So the last one is, you know that it's rotation about x-axis, there is alpha n. And then the second one is translation along x-axis. I said an plus 1. Here they have given us ln. Okay. And then the second one is, it is translation along z-axis, that is dn. And then the first one is rotation about z-axis. That is the formula cos theta minus sin theta and sin theta and cos theta. Once you have done this, if you are multiplying as like I said, okay, this matrix multiplied with this and this matrix multiplied with the final answer of these two, you will get the final answer like this. So you have to multiply it with right to left. That means this matrix multiplied with this, okay, you will get the 4 by 4 matrix. Then this matrix should be multiplied with the combination of these two matrices, and then this matrix should be multiplied with the combination of these three. Okay, once you are following the order correctly, you will get the final answer correctly. Okay, so these things for general forward kinematic equations for any link and joint combination as per Dynavit-Hurtenberg. Okay, so once you have done, this is the formula, so you can substitute the variable and then you can get the values in numerical like this. Okay, so you know theta n value and you know the alpha value and you know the L value, and then you know the D value also. In a physical construction, I'm saying that once you know all these parameters and you can substitute it, and you can find out that where the end effector or particular joint's location. Okay. This is related to my research topic. Any doubts till now? Any doubt, professors? Because Dynavit-Hurtenberg is very important in forward kinematics. So if you have any doubts, please ask me. I'm waiting for around 5 minutes. Then we will solve one problem. Okay, no more doubts? Okay, shall I proceed? Fine then.
Yes, sir.
Here also, okay. So here also I'm facing some issues in the marker, digital marker. A simple example I brought here actually. Okay, I will try it out. If it is working, it will be well and good. Otherwise, okay. So you can take a 6 degrees of freedom robot. Okay, this particular robot, we are going to see how to formulate DH representation. Okay. So what are things we have to do in this particular 6DF articulated robot we are going to see. So first what we have to do means, first you have to see how many joints are there. So in the diagram, is it visible? Can I zoom it a little bit? Is the screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, shall we solve one by one? It will be better, I think so, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to mark the DH parameters for this particular joint. Okay, so they are given, it's a 3-dimensional. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 joints are given in the 6 DF articulate robot. Okay, so once they have given, immediately you can write that in the DH parameter table. You can write that 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6. Okay, that configuration you can write. Okay, fine then. Once they have given, based on the rotational axis, you have to mark all these points. Okay, that is very important. So as like first joint is considered, I am taking Z0 and X0 and Z1. You can see that the first one is rotating along this direction. Okay, twisting joint. Morning we have seen. Okay, the twisting joint. So the rotational axis is Z0. Okay, that is the first joint, and X0 I have marked. Okay, and then second one, if you see that compared to the first one, the second link is this one. Okay, the second link is this particular one. This particular joint is not parallel to the first joint, so automatically the rotational axis will change. You can see that rotational axis is Z1. Okay, and then their corresponding X component is different, X1. And compared to the second link, the third link, you can see the second link and third link it's like RR manipulator. There is a revolute manipulator. So you can see that the second part and third part is having the same rotational axis, that is The direction is same. Z1 and Z2 is having rotation with respect to same direction. Okay, that is the thing. And then when you come to the third one, Z3, okay, so when you are coming to the Z1 and Z2, you can see that the rotation axes are the Z1 and Z2 are parallel. Okay, coming to the third one, Z3, you can see that Z2 and Z3 axes are parallel. That means the joints 1, 2, 3 are having the same parallel axis of Z axis. That is, it is rotational and rotational joint. But when you are seeing the first body, that is number 1, it is having a twisting joint. So by seeing this geometry itself, we can say that it is TRR manipulator. Are you getting? TRR manipulator. So it's initial level, it is very tough to understand the configuration, but when you are seeing the axis, you can understand. You can see that the first one is rotating about Z0 axis. The second one is rotating about Z1 axis. The third one is rotating about the Z2 axis, and Z3 axis is also rotating. Okay, and 4, 5, 6, you can see that it is related to your wrist axis. Each one is having the axes are marked according to the rotational axis, Z4, Z5 and Z6. Okay, so this is the way we have to mark the axis. So once you are marking that, okay, so once you are marking everything, you can draw the line diagram. So how you can draw the line diagram? So like this, because we are not going to consider any y-axis, so we can calculate only x and z-axis, and then we can formulate the dh parameter. So now the question is, I want you to help in these parameters. So 0 to 1, so you are taking 0 to 1, okay, that particular joint, there is joint 1 for example. Okay, so can you tell me the parameters of the robot? So I want somewhat interactive. Anyone is interested so that I can explain you in detail? So can anyone help me how to calculate these parameters now?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yeah, can you, sir, please, sir, can you help me? So 0 to 1, whether that particular joint will have rotation, sir?
Yes, sir, along Z axis.
Yeah, very good, sir. So you can substitute theta 1. So here actually my pen is not okay. Now it is working, I think so. That is great. No. So still I am facing some problem in this. Okay. So you can write it. The first one, 0 to 1, the theta parameter will be theta 1. Okay. So whether the first joint 0 to 1, will it have any d distance, sir? That is a distance along z axis?
No, no.
No. So obviously it will be 0.
0.
Okay. So first one, 0, 1. So theta 1 you have given. In D you have given 0. So any offset distance along x, sir?
No, sir.
No, very good, sir. So A parameter also will be 0. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir.
So the 0 to 1, theta 1 will be there, D will be 0, A will be 0. What about alpha, sir? Compare Z0, Z1 and X0, X1, sir. So I have to align now X0 to X1 or X1 to X0, sir. Which one is correct?
So 90 degree.
Yeah, 90 degree, very good, sir. But which one I have to align? Whether I have to align Z0 to Z1 or Z1 to Z0?
Z1 to Z0, sir.
Z1 to Z0. Are we correct, sir? Just think, sir, last thing what we did. Whether we aligned is Zn with Zn plus 1 or we aligned Zn plus 1 to Zn? Okay, my question is simple, sir. Whether I have to rotate x axis, x1 axis or x0 axis? Which one I have to rotate, sir? X0 or x1?
X1, sir.
Sir, x1 I am aligning means it will go to x0. So I have to
Yes,
rotate. I have to rotate x0 to align with Z0
X1.
to Z1. Please take a note, sir.
Okay, sir.
So I have to align Z0 to Z1. Okay. So that is 90 degree. Okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay, fine, sir. So coming to the next one, 1 to 2. So now you tell me, sir, 1 to 2. Will I have theta, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously
No,
theta.
no theta.
Yes, sir. Theta will be there because second also we are
Theta,
having
okay.
6 degrees of freedom, sir. So 6
Yes.
degrees of freedom means all the joints will have rotation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 1 to 2, you will have theta 2. And will we have any d distance? D means distance along z axis. Will we have any d distance?
Yes, length of link.
No, sir. Just think of it, sir. Whether it is d or a, it is very important.
Okay.
Are we having any distance along z, sir?
No.
We are having distance along x2, sir. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is the distance along x axis. So the parameter is a, not d. Most of us, we will make a mistake in that only, sir. So you can see, otherwise you can relate like this. Z1 to Z2, we will have a common normal. That common normal is nothing but x axis. So that
Okay.
value, so again I will repeat, sir. Z1 to Z2, if we are connecting Z1 and Z2, okay. So obviously it will be perpendicular to Z1 and Z2. So that common normal is nothing but x2. So that distance is A2. So you won't have parameter of D, you will have a parameter of A2. Okay, my video is off like this. Okay, I am repeating again, sir. Z1 and Z2. So the common normal is x2 axis, you can see. So this distance from here to here, the distance is A2. So what about alpha, sir? Do we have any alpha there? See the axis Z1 and Z2, sir. Do we have any alpha?
No.
No, sir, because
No.
Z1 and Z2 are in the same line.
Perpendicular,
So,
same line.
yeah, exactly. So there won't be any alpha value. So
Okay.
again, I am repeating the second one, sir. You can understand much better. So theta 2 will be there. D won't be there because we don't have any distance along Z axis. We will have the parameter A2 because we are having a horizontal distance along x axis between Z1 to Z2. And then we won't have any alpha also because we don't have any inclination with respect to Z1 or Z2. Okay, so both are in the parallel line, so we won't have any alpha value. Are we clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
clear.
So next we are going to 2 and 3, sir. So definitely, as I said, 6 degrees of freedom. The 2 and 3, we are having again rotation, that is theta 3. Am I right, sir? This one, sir, Z2
Yes.
and Z3.
Yes.
So we are having theta 3 again. Will we have any distance, sir? Just check Z2 and Z3. D means the distance along Z axis, sir. Will we have any distance? No.
No, sir.
No. Again,
No,
Z2
sir, no,
to
sir.
Z3, we are having a common normal, that is X3 axis.
X3
So-
axis, yes, yes.
So we will have only A3. Please take a note, sir. We will have only A3. So once you are having A3, what about alpha, sir? Will we have any alpha?
No.
So please check. Okay. Please check and tell me, sir. Will we have any alpha? No, because
No,
Z
sir.
is, yeah, very good, sir. So Z axis of
X2.
Yeah, same in parallel, so we won't have any alpha. Okay, alpha 3 also will be 0. So now we are moving to 3 to 4, sir. So 3 to 4, now I need your help. So you know that theta 4 will be there, am I right? Are we will have a theta 4 or not, sir?
There will be. There
Yeah,
will be
theta 4 will be there. After that, will we have any d distance, sir? Please check Z3 and Z4, sir. Will we have any d value? Will we have some value or not, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. We have value
Yes,
D.
sir, we got valid D, sir.
Okay, sir. Surely?
Yes, yes.
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Actually, I don't.
Just think, sir, actually.
No,
There is
sir.
a
There will
small
not.
twist there, actually, in this. If you are seeing, okay, 1 minute, I will zoom it, then you will understand much better. I have given the geometry also. You can see here, sir, this line is joining what parameters, sir? Whether it is joining x3, x4 or z3 and z4, sir. This small line.
X3, X4, sir. Joining Z3,
Yeah,
Z4.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. I will show you. Yeah, this line, sir. This small dotted line. Which one it is joining, sir?
So it is
X3.
normal to Z3 and Z4.
Yeah, very good. So this is normal to Z3 and Z4. So the parameter is not D, it is A. Please take a note, sir. So you will have a parameter A4 there.
Yes.
So now when you are having Z3 and Z4, when you are substituting A4, that Z3 axis will go and lie on this particular point. You can see here. So this point will move here now. Okay. So now you tell me, sir, will we have any alpha?
Yes.
Yeah, surely you will have
Yes, sir.
alpha. Yeah. So which one you have to rotate, sir? X3 you have to rotate or X4 you have to rotate?
Sir, X3.
X3 you have to rotate, that is in clockwise, so it is minus 90. Counterclockwise means plus 90. Please take a note. Hope I am not boring you. The people, those
Yeah,
who are
no,
from
sir.
the department, hope you will get it much better. I think so. If you are making any wrong, please correct me. So the professors, those who are in other department, even in the design point of view in robotics, you can ask your students to do these kind of analysis. This is actually I'm explaining in theoretical, but we are having so many tools of the robo analyzer is there. You can use MATLAB for solving all these equations. You can give so many parameters you can calculate, and then you can produce good results. Sir, I think we have got alpha also, that is minus 90. So now we are moving to the next one, 4 and 5. Sir, 4 and 5, so definitely we will have a rotation theta 5. Am I right? Sir, will we have any value, sir? D and A, just to check 5, sir. 4 and 5. Z5 is there, X5 is there, Z4 is there, X4 is there. Will we have any distance, sir, here, this point? Will we have any distance, sir, D and A?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir, because it's a single point. You can see X4, Z4, X5, and here Z5 is given. To confuse you, they have given from here. Try to understand. Actually, the Z5 is from here, actually. Where X is there, there only Z also will be there. Not here separately. To confuse, they will give like this. So X5 and Z5 is from here. So there won't be any, because at the same point, you won't have any parameter D and A. So D and A will be 0. I think there will be an alpha. Am I right, sir? Z4 and Z5.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So whether it is plus 90 or minus 90, sir. Whether I have to rotate X4 in clockwise or counterclockwise.
Clockwise.
Clockwise.
Sir, just think, if I am rotating X4 clockwise means Z4 will fall that side. Which side it has to come? So it will be in counterclockwise so that it will come and align with Z5. Clockwise means it will go in that direction. Opposite sense. So it will be 90. That is the thing of alpha. Okay, last one, sir. Can you tell me the last one? Theta 6 will be there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, theta 6 will be there. What about A? A distance, D distance, alpha distance. Sir, please check that X6 is here, Z6 is here. Will it have any other value, sir? Z5 and Z6 are in the same line. Will it have any alpha?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, very good.
Yeah.
So it won't have any parameter D and A also. It will have only theta. Okay. So your final answer will be. Actually, I thought of explaining with pen, but unfortunately, my this one digital pen is not working. Sorry. Sorry. So your final answer will be. So you can check it out. Yeah, this is your final answer. So in most of the research papers, as some of our students, they
4
use
to 5 plus 90 or minus 90?
which one, sir?
Alpha.
Yeah,
4
alpha.
to
Which
5.
ones? 4 to 5. 1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute. I will come to the sketch. Sir, actually, you can see that X4 and X5 you can see, sir. So X4 you are going to rotate so that Z4 will come aligned with Z5. How will you rotate, sir? Clockwise or counterclockwise? Z5 is in this direction. It will be in.
I'm having some doubt there.
Oh, okay, fine, sir. The thing is, you will rotate in counterclockwise, sir. That's only. Okay, that is the thing. So it will come in. Yeah. So that is the point in that. Okay, sir. If suppose if everything is works, then I can explain you once again. Okay, that's the thing. Anyway, we will move to the next one because we are having inverse kinematics also. So this one, after getting this answer, so everybody will say that okay, that's all. Most of the research papers, they will give only this. They won't give any geometrical related parameters. Reading. So we have to calculate and then we have to analyze all these parameters. Based on this one only, we will derive kinematic equations. Okay, that's the thing. So once you have done, as like I said, calculate the transformation matrix. So 6 transformation matrix you will get. So one by one we have to substitute. And then finally, why we are doing this is the base of the robot and the hand where it will be. Okay, you will come to know that from the base to hand you will find the relations. Okay, once you are varying these parameters, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4, theta 5, or if you are changing the parameter of each value, you will get a different location of hand. Okay, that is the thing we have seen now. So if you are giving theta 1 is equal to 0, you will get one position. Theta 1 is equal to 30, you will get another position. Okay, that is the thing. Based on that only we are calculating the workspace. So your final answer will be like this. Okay, so my personal request is once you are free, please calculate one time. Then you will have a lot of experience on that. I used to calculate by myself. So I am requesting all the professors, if time permits, please calculate one time so that you will understand what is this 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 and all. Okay, that is the thing. That is nothing but theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3 plus theta 4 like that. It will get. If suppose if you are interested to proceed further, please give it to the MATLAB. MATLAB will solve and give the equations. Okay, so to simplify this equations, we will use a lot of relations. For example, sine theta plus theta 1 plus theta 2 we will call it as S12, and cos theta 1 plus theta 2 we will say it as C cos theta 1, that is C12 we will call it as. So some of the papers you will come across these numbers, you will get confused, but the thing is actually they are substituting like this. Okay, so in the research articles you won't find these kind of terms there. So they are simply using to make it very simple to look like. Okay, that's the thing. So, okay, fine then. Once forward kinematics is over, how we will calculate inverse kinematics? So forward kinematic matrix will give what is your end effector position. Now I want to know the theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4, theta 5, theta 6 values based on the end effector position of x, y, z. So what we have to do? There are two basic methods are there. I will tell you that one. One is relating the final answer with the our transformation matrix. This matrix, I think in the morning I have explained. Okay, the first three are related to rotational matrix. The last one is related to the translational matrix. So this is for this is not related to 6 degrees of freedom. This is related to only 2 degrees of freedom robot. So you know that 0 th means it is from the reference to hand. Okay, O there is 0, otherwise O refers to the reference. H is related to the hand. Okay, from the base to hand, what is the transformation matrix? So we got this 2 degrees of freedom matrix. Okay, and then this is our final matrix based on the morning transformation matrix. Now we can relate these two, that is for example 2, 1, that is you can relate the 2 and then 1, you will get S12, that is sine theta 1 plus theta 2 is equal to ny. Okay, this one, these two terms I am saying this and this you can relate, you will get the value. Similarly cos theta 1, 2, you can relate to the nx. Okay, 1, 2 related to nx. So like this, you can compare the parameters and then you can calculate the value of theta 1, theta 2. Okay, whatever values are there, you can relate it and then calculate. This is one method of inverse kinematics. Okay, again I'll repeat. After calculating transformation matrix, you know the final transformation matrix, how it will look like. These parameters, that is matrix parameters, you can relate and then you can calculate the unknown value of theta 1 and theta 2. Okay. Similarly, another method is there. This is algebraic solution. Another method is there. That is alternative solution. What is that means? Here you have to multiply the inverse matrix of whatever we have calculated. For example, you know A1 and A2 in this equations. This is the answer. Okay. After that, what you have to do means you have to multiply the transformation matrix, final transformation matrix with the A2 inverse of x, then you will get one particular equation. Okay, that is here it will become A1. Here you will get the transformation matrix. What do you have to know? Multiply with A2 inverse. So multiplying this, now you can relate these two values, that is this matrix parameter and this matrix parameter, and then you can calculate sine theta, that is theta 1 and theta 2. Any doubt in these two methods? Any doubts you can ask me so that I can proceed further. Any doubts, Professor? Inverse kinematics? No doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Then do you understand that how to relate this?
Example, sir.
Which one, sir?
Sir, for first one, sir.
Yeah,
Inverse
tell me.
kinematics examples.
This one, inverse.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me, sir. Oh, this one you want me to explain again?
Yeah, yes, sir, please.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Okay, no problem. Sir, after you are calculating the total transformation matrix,
Yes.
you know that this one is a combination of rotation matrix and translation matrix.
Yes.
Am I right, sir? So
Yes.
these variable you know, sir. Maybe px, py, pz you know. That is inverse kinematics. Am I right? Px, py, pz you know. That end effector positions you know, right?
Okay, sir.
And this entire matrix also you know, because once you know this, how much rotations, all those things you know that. So what we are doing is these matrix parameters we are relating to these variables. For example, sine theta 1 plus theta 2 you are relating to ny parameter in this matrix. Okay, so based on that, cos theta 1 plus theta 2 you are relating to nx. So based on these parameters, similarly you can see here A2 cos theta 1 plus theta 2, A1 cos theta 1, that is equal to, if you are relating that, that is Px. Px you know already. So based on this, you can substitute the value maybe
Yes,
2
sir.
3,
Now it's
and
clear.
easily you can calculate theta 1 and theta 2,
Yes.
sir. That is the thing. Okay, sir?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So next
there
one
are two
is,
alternate values, I think.
yes, sir, yes, sir. You can easily calculate all other values also if you are relating it. For example,
Yes.
Py, you can substitute this, and then you can relate it. Two equations you can get. So cos theta 1 value, sin theta 1 value. If you are substituting the numerical value, you will get the answers. So similarly, another one, what I said to our professors are, you can bring this side and then multiply it into inverse matrix, and then you can relate it. There is also another method. Compared to the first method, I think second method will be easy. Okay, based on my experience, I'm not asking you to follow that, but based on my experience of calculating inverse kinematics, this second method is much easier than the first one. Okay, so based on that, I am giving you now 6 degrees of freedom how to calculate. So same thing, you calculated total transformation matrix, the entire thing. After that, what you have to do, as I told you, you have to relate to the final rotational and translation matrix. This is the final form, and you have to equate this and this matrix with this matrix. How to calculate in the second method? Bring the A6 this side, that is you have to multiply it with the inverse. So once you are multiplying, you will get, see here, A1 inverse I have brought here, and then I have multiplied. Now I am equating these two terms, that is nxc1 plus nys1, this one with the first term c2, 3, 4, c5, c6 minus s2, 3, 4, s6. I am equating like this. Similarly, when you are seeing that, here you can see pxc1 plus pys1 is equal to c2, 3, 4, a4 plus C2, 3, A3 plus C2, A2. Like this, you can relate all the parameters. To make it very simple, here you can see the 3, 4 elements of equation, that is this particular one, Px S1 minus Py/C1 is equal to 0. So now you can easily calculate the parameter of theta 1. Are you getting now? So now you have to equate the parameters of the matrix so that you can calculate what is theta 1. Okay. So this is the method we have to do it in inverse kinematics. Okay. Any doubts, Professor? If you're not having any other doubt, we can proceed further. Another 20 minutes is there. If you have any queries, you can ask me. Okay, no more queries. Can I move further?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Any doubts here? It is not that much easy. These things you cannot feed it in MATLAB. You have to come across and then you have to substitute it. Okay. So I am proceeding to the next one. Okay. So these are the variables, and then you have to calculate. This is related to parallel manipulator. Maybe I will come at last. Before that, I'm having one more word. Okay. Just a minute. I will share with you. Just a minute, I will share. So you can take a break. If you have any queries, you can ask me for another 2 minutes. I will share the another Word file, so that will be another. So maybe our professor is going to explain dynamics tomorrow, I think so. So before that, I want to give a brief about what is differential motion. Professor, are you able to see my screen?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Is it okay, sir, now?
Now it is okay, sir.
Fine then. So, yeah, like, okay, fine. Then now it is working. Sorry. So next very important thing is differential motions and velocities. So before going to the dynamics, okay, you have to know that what are the motions and velocities which are playing a key role in mechanisms, okay, particularly in robotics. So here, so I want to brief about some of the terms. Please listen here. So the differential motion, the term itself, it says that differential motions means a small movement of mechanisms. So that is very important. Okay, you're having a very small movement that is called differential motion. Okay? That can be, so this term, okay, this small movement can be used to derive velocity relationships, okay, between different parts of the mechanisms. Okay, this is differential motions. And by definition, as I told you that differential motion means a small movement. And here we are having different topics, but I don't want to go in all actually. I'll go with a simple velocity and then I will give introduction to Jacobian and then I will stop it so that our professor will start from tomorrow from what is the Jacobian. Okay, the differential relationships I want to give. If you take this particular 2 degrees of freedom planar mechanism, this one. So if you are taking this planar mechanism, okay, the velocity diagram is given here. Okay, most probably everybody knows. So velocity diagram, how to draw. So VA should be perpendicular to this particular link. You know that, and this particular VB will be perpendicular to this particular link, and then you know that how to join this. Okay, so VA, VB, and VB by A. Okay, this velocity things. Okay, how to calculate this? The velocity of point B. How will we calculate? Okay, anyway, I will keep the screen so that you will understand. So here the VB, if you are writing, so it's.
Sir, will you please zoom the screen?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Is it okay now? Are you able to understand?
Yes, now.
Yeah. So this one. So as I told you, this is link 1, and then velocity of A is given here in velocity diagram, and B it is given here, and then you know that this is VB by A. Okay. The velocity diagram, if you see here, the velocity of point B, how to calculate it? See, it's similar to the previous case. Okay. So you are taking a VB, VA, and then VB by A. I think those who have taught kinematics of machines, you will easily relate that what I am teaching actually. So for others, it's like simply a kind of a vector approach. You can relate it. That is VB, velocity at B is equal to VA plus VB by A. So how to calculate that one is particularly. So if I am calculating VB, that is nothing but L1 multiplied with theta dot 1. So the theta dot 1 is nothing but you know that d theta 1 by dt. Okay, and then it should be multiplied with the perpendicular to L1. Okay, this is the distance. Okay, first one. Similarly, if you are coming to along with plus, what you can do is you can take the L2. Okay, and L2 when you are considering in the morning we have seen we have 2 parameters theta 1 and theta 2. Okay, and then it should be perpendicular to what? You know that L2. Okay, this is the parameter. Okay, to calculate the velocity of B. Okay, so you know that how I have related the time here. Okay, this is related to theta dot, and you know that the perpendicular distance when you are multiplying, you will get the velocity. Okay, any doubt in this? Are we clear about this, or do you have any doubt? Okay, fine. Any doubt here?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So this one is morning we have seen L1 sin theta 1 and L1 cos theta 1. Okay, that is the distance of perpendicular distance. And then we have seen L2 sin theta plus theta 1 plus theta 2 and L2 cos theta 1 plus theta 2j. That's all. This is the velocity. How to calculate velocity of point based on our equation. If suppose you are feeling that this is very tough, I will teach you another method which will be very simple. Okay. So now based on this, how to mark this particular equation into matrix form. Okay. So you are going to help me. Whether it is correct or wrong, you are going to say. So if I am taking x component alone, velocity VBX, in the matrix form always we have to differentiate two things, that is always separate theta 1 dot and theta 2 dot separately, because you know that these are the velocity terms, and you know that this one also related to velocity terms. Okay. So this one, I am taking this particular equation, we are going to write it in matrix form. So you know that minus L1 sine theta 1, here it is there, and minus L2 sine theta 1 plus theta 2, that is here. Okay. If you are multiplying this particular term, you will get this equation. Okay. Similarly, if you are multiplying this one and this one, okay, you will get the other equation. Any doubt in these parameters? Are you having any doubt in how to write the equation in matrix form?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. That's a simple because you are already working on that. Okay. So now I want to say that what are this? Why we are calculating this? Okay. So some of you might have come across a term called Jacobian. Did we come across Jacobian? So now you will see that what is that actually, okay, based on the derivation, very simple manner compared to the last one, how I am calculating in a different way. So morning we have seen that x point distance is L1 cos theta 1, L2 cos theta 1 plus theta 2. Am I right? Any doubt in this? Morning. Are we clear that this is related to x in the morning? We have seen in RR
Yes, sir.
manipulator. Okay. So similarly, y is related to L1 sin theta 1, L2 sin theta 1 plus theta 2. Am I right? This is related to y. So now based on these two equations, I am going to calculate velocity. If you are feeling the previous case is different, you can follow this. Okay. So how I am going to do is I am going to differentiate the above equation with respect to two variables, that is theta 1 and theta 2. So dxb, you know that minus L1 sin theta 1 into d theta you will get. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Yes. Am I right? If I am differentiating with respect to theta 1, will I get d theta 1? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this one. Okay. And similarly, L2 sin theta 1, theta plus theta 2, you will get d theta 1 and d theta 2. Similarly, dyb, you will have the variable d theta 1 and then d theta 1 plus d theta 2. That's all. So this one you can put it in matrix form. Okay. So dxb, you can take L1 sin theta 1 minus L2 sin theta 1 plus theta 2 multiplied with d theta 1. Similarly, this term minus L2 sin theta 1 plus theta 2 multiplied with d theta 2. So once you are doing this, you will get the dxb. And similarly, while you are multiplying dyb, okay, this one, L1 cos theta 1, L2 cos theta 1 plus 2. This term you have to multiply it with d theta 1 and this term you have to multiply with d theta 2. You will get this. Okay, compared to this equation, okay, how this equation is different? Any idea? How this equation is different compared with this? Whether both the equations are same or different? Okay, we are winding up. Is the equations are same or different? Okay, busy. Only the thing is,
So they are
this
different.
one you have to divide by dt and this term also you have to divide by dt. That's all with respect to time. So now this is nothing but the relation of differential motion, Jacobian and differential motion of joints relationship. That is, this is related to the joints velocity. Okay, and this is nothing but so-called Jacobian, and then this one is nothing but differential motion. So those who have come across dynamics, definitely they would have come across all these terms. Okay, this is joint velocity. Okay, are you getting? So any doubt in this? Oh, here I have written, sorry. So this is the thing, differential motion of B, Jacobian and the differential motion of joints. Any doubts till now? Shall I proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine then. So once we have done that, that's all. Now I want to give brief about Jacobian. Those who are not clear about these terms, please, you can make it clear. The Jacobian is a representation of the geometry of the elements of a mechanism. Okay. Anyway, professor will teach tomorrow. Please take down this. Jacobian is the geometry of the elements of a mechanism. Very important term is time. So the Jacobian is a representation of the geometry of the elements of a mechanism in time. Okay. The second one is it allows the conversion of differential motions or velocities of individual joints to differential motions or velocities of points of interest. Where you want, you can make it. Particularly, we are looking for only end effector, so we will do there only. The thing is, very important thing is the conversion of differential motions or velocity of individual joints to different motions or velocities. Okay. Which point you want, you can calculate by using this Jacobian. Third one is it also relates individual joint motions to overall mechanism motions. That's only whenever we are going for kinematic analysis, we are asking where is your Jacobian matrix. Okay. So once you are calculating this, then all other singularity, velocity, acceleration, everything you can make it easily. And the third one is Jacobian is time related, as I said. Okay. The position is time related, you know that. So Jacobian is also time related. So it depends on the giant angles vary with respect to time, and magnitude of the elements of the Jacobian vary in time. Both the things are same. So these are a simple example of that. Okay. So if the Jacobian is how to calculate it, it depends on the position, you know. This is for example T1. Okay. This is time at T2. And this is our time T3. So definitely Jacobian 1, Jacobian 2 and Jacobian 3 will not be equal. Okay, this is not equal to this. This is not equal to this. Okay, any other doubts? If no more doubts, then I can wind up a session. Any other doubts? Professors? Too much mathematics? Any other doubt? Okay, fine. So this is related to my research. Okay, so same thing, how I have calculated kinematics. After that, what vector approach I have used, and then how I simulated in Adams, how I fabricated. Okay, that's thing. And then some of the research activities at VIT. So we are working on drones. We are working on IoT in robotics and manipulated designs and rover designs, and then rehabilitation robotics also we are using. So this one is manipulated design in rehabilitation device using Zero. Okay. So the research challenges, so many things are there. So in robotics, these are some of the things, particularly in manipulation. 3-dimensional models for manipulation as what is that? A booming area, you can calculate on that only in related to manipulators. Okay. And then with this, I'm winding up. So if any questions are there, I can take it. Otherwise, we can wind up. Thank you. This one we have developed a small robot. Yeah, any queries, professors and faculty members? If not, I can wind up the session.
Professor?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, professor,
Hello,
please.
Professor?
Yeah, professor, tell me, professor.
Actually, you have covered like one semester within
Extremely
very short
sorry.
time.
Yeah, extremely
No,
sorry.
not like that. You
Yeah.
are having that much experience to how to consult it. That's what I wanted to point it out.
Thanks a lot.
So you have,
Thanks a lot for
actually, it takes a lot of time, but you made it very crispy, and you have included every aspect of kinematics, robot kinematics.
Thanks a lot, professor. Actually, because
that's what I wanted to compliment your skills, how to condense the one semester into few hours.
Exactly, that is true.
It's a
Professor.
good session, Professor.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Right.
Actually, our professor requested that. That's only I said, if I wanted to teach kinematics, please give me 2 sessions. Actually, our professor given. Thanks a lot for opportunity, professor,
Yeah.
and I have met so many.
Thanks for your valuable.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any specific queries, professor? Anyway, I have shared the notes to our professor. Professor will share to you. If any other queries are there, you can please you can write it to me. This is my personal email ID. This is the thing. Okay, so you can please drop a mail so that if any queries in manipulated kinematics, maybe I can suggest you. That's it. Okay,
Thank
professor.
you.
Now it's leave it to you. I'm leaving.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for such a nice talk.
Thank you.
And I hope that the concept of kinematics explained by you, sir, will help all the participants to have a clear and better understanding of dynamics subjects in robotics tomorrow onwards.
Yes, professor.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your valuable time. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thanks a lot, Professor. Thanks for the opportunity. Once again, on behalf of VIT Management and School of Mechanical Engineering, thanks for the opportunity. I thank all the office bearers of NIT Allahabad, and particularly I thank all the participants. I'm quite interested in having interactive sessions. Thanks a lot for cooperating with me, and then I really enjoyed this particular 2 lecture. Thanks a lot. Okay. Thanks a lot, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So I would request all the participants to join us tomorrow at around 9:15. Tomorrow we have first session at 9:30 a.m. by Professor Ashish Datta from IIT Kanpur. He will take lecture on this and robot arm dynamics. Then we have second session that is at 11:30, that is biped locomotion and trajectory. And after lunch, we have one session that is from 3 to 4:30, control aspects of robot manipulators by Ashish Singla, Professor Ashish Singla from Thapar University. So thank you all for joining the day 1, all 3 sessions. Hope we will meet you tomorrow at 9:15. Please join 10-15 minutes before the start of the session. That will be good for all of us. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.